Hello, everybody. This is Ayush Kariwara, and this is my persuasive communication presentation on ending the war on drugs. This presentation we will be discussing about the problems and situation of drug abuse issues in the United States of America. And by the end of this presentation, hopefully, we will have a feasible solution to this problem. Moving on with the presentation, the main persuasive strategies and arguments. Appealing to emotion is one of the most efficient strategies. Several efficient strategies have in place took place in before, but it is not guaranteed that people are expected to change their minds. Emotion is one of the most efficient strategies. The plan will involve the application of sources such as interviews or personal story to show legitimate and more touching image of reality or raise the truth among the among the following users. For instance, incorporating stories of a kid that had experienced abuse following the recklessness of their parents, following misuse of drug issues may make for a constant persuasive argument. There will be the employment of credible data as supporting evidence and verbally citing of the sources throughout this presentation on war on drugs, but the strategy will depend on application of both inductive and deductive thinking on the subject. What are the possible arguments against the proposed strategy? Well, there are many reasons for people may not agree with ending the war on drugs, but through these assessing these arguments, we may come up we may find an actual solution. The first one is ending the war on drugs conceding to criminal element. Well, there may be a public perception about ending the war on drugs may be conceding to criminal elements. Some assume that bringing the end of the war on drugs maybe just mean legalizing narcotics or creating fewer restriction on the narcotics. That point is valid. However, legalizing drugs is not the only way to end the circle of violence and imprisonment coming after it. The legalization of lower less harmful substances like marijuana might be a possibility for the nationwide, but this does not mean we are suggesting to legalize the hard narcotic drug like crack cocaine and methamphetamine to be legalized and taxed by the federal government. The second is rehabilitation versus punishment. Well, looking at the current drug laws and penalties, they are required to find out alternative ways for rehabilitation methods. Prisons and jails are usually a ward rehabilitation center, but it is not an accurate description as a punishment is. We may run into a problem with the public opinion when trying to fight for the treatment for those who need rather than just being punished. The sentiment of some people may argue about people who break the law should be punished for their action rather than being treated. But unless offenders are rehabilitated, they are likely to offend again. The third one is treatment only work for users. What about the dealers or the distributors? Well, offering drug addiction rehabilitation program may not seem a feasible option considering most dealers are not users themselves. However, treating addicts may in fact help diminish the number of distributors of hard narcotics. The legal drug trade system works based on demand and supply. So if we effectively can work to decrease the number of demand of narcotics by helping these users or abusers get rehabilitated, then we can lower the number of supply when there is no when there is lower number of demand. The fourth one is treatment expensive? Doesn't that cost taxpayer dollars? Okay, this is a very hot argument topic, and some may disagree with ending the war on drugs due to a fear of hurting the U.S. economy. After all, treatment costs money, but when we consider annual price tag on this failing war, the difference is undeniable. According to Bolster and Luz in 2012, annually the American government spends around 15 billion plus on drug enforcement. The average annual cost for housing a prison inmate is more over $31,000, where a 30-day rehabilitation program for the same abuser costs around $6 to $20,000. The more expensive programs are being more well known for private institution companies utilized by celebrities and other well-off families, but the normal household people, the middle people, or the average living life people, they are facing the charges and instance of imprisonment rather than being treated for their abuse, for treated for their habit. So I think the treating the abused people, treating the people with the drug problems is a way more sustainable at the long run, and it also is cheaper than imprisoning and paying for the inmate for a year. So I would rather suggest for going for the rehabilitation program, which is uh, relatively most less costly than prison and an inmate. So also are here some of the references on the presentation I had today and where I got my materials from. Uh, this is my presentation on ending the war on drugs. Thank you.